inside of an IT shop. Rather than talk about that, we're going to do a demonstration of how we can manage a data center. So please welcome Josh Cohan to help me with that. Hey Josh, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So what do we have here?
Today we're going to be IT pros doing heterogeneous management with Windows Server 2003 R2, MOM, and wsmanagement.
Okay.
So we've brought some equipment from our data center.
Okay.
And we've got MOM here on the console, which we're able to see.
Okay.
Now over here we've got an Intel machine. This is a machine that's got active management technology platform inside of it. This is a prototype with a service processor that supports wsmanagement.
Okay.
Now this will allow us to manage the system from a hardware perspective, even if the OS is not running.
Okay. Great. So, so this is if you're managing this, what happens if something catastrophic were to happen?
Excuse me, guys. We're all a bit fixated on that big red switch. The emergency cutoff. What would happen if you flipped it?
Well, this is the power switch for this this box. So I guess if I turn it off, it would it'd just reboot. So
let's find out. Come on, do it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So the screen's gone blank. So how are you going to fix that?
Sound good. Sorry, Josh.
Why don't we?
Hope you can fix that.
Yeah. Why don't we go ahead and turn that back on?
Okay.
So Andy's done us a favor and cycled the power. So if we come back here to the MOM console, MOM is able to manage this system in an agentless and secure way. It actually, like I said, it's speaking to the hardware processor, and as you can see, it's going to go ahead and reboot. Now, if we look in the state view here in MOM, we can see that the system says that the hardware is working correctly, but the OS is not. Now, the OS is not because the system is booting, but that's going to resolve itself in just a second.
Okay,
It doesn't seem to be going as well. It's got a problem. It says Windows could not start because of a computer disk hardware configuration problem.
Okay, so the hard disk has failed. Okay, so what are we going to do about that?
Well, normally I think that would require a trip out to the desktop. It looks like during the power cycle we've screwed up the boot sector. But with MOM and wsmanagement, we're going to be able to fix that remotely. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on this machine and run a MOM task that I prepared in advance. And what that's going to do is it's going to send a wsmanagement message to the service processor, or the BIOS, if you will, to change the boot device. It's going to set the boot device to a different drive that we've installed that has a working Windows image. Now this functionality allows you to set the boot device to either a CD, a floppy, or the network. You can use the network option to, again, boot to a known working image, or you can go ahead and start a remote install or remote imaging to completely reinstall the system. So if we look now, we can see that Windows is starting to boot. It's going to complete. It's gotten past the problem that we saw before, and the problem is now resolved.
Wow. So you've done that using wsmanagement in the standards way. None of this sort of every single machine, different sort of hardware setup and stuff.
That's right, yeah. No more having to figure out hit delete or F2 to go into BIOS setup. That's gone, and it's all remote.
Okay.
Excuse us, voice of the audience here again. We're also fixated on that thing over there under the drape. It's making a bunch of noise. What's under there?
Okay, let's go have a look. So what have we got? What have we got here?
Andy, this is a demo in front of 6,000 of us Microsoft partners. Josh puts a Sun server on stage. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. Actually, what is that doing there?
Well, check it out. We talked about heterogeneous management. So far, we've shown how Windows and MOM can manage Windows, but that's probably no surprise here at the Microsoft Partner Conference. If we go ahead and look at this rack of machines here, we've got this guy on top, which is running Solaris. Within the rack, we've got a series of other machines. One of them is another Solaris box that's sitting in a standby or powered off state, as well as our MOM server. Our MOM server is also running on Windows Server 2003 R2. It's got wsmanagement and MOM installed on it, and that's going to allow us to manage these systems.
Okay, so I feel a little bit better that it's running Windows in a Sun box, but what was to happen if something catastrophic were to happen to the Sun machine?
You know, Andy, overheating would be pretty catastrophic. Aren't those cooling fans on top?
Okay, so I wonder what happens if I just randomly start attacking the machine. Should I
Do
that?
it! Do it!
Okay.
Do it!
So I don't think you need a cooling fan for a sunbox, so we'll just take that out. So what happens now?
Well, I brought an extra machine, so I'm not really worried. But in this case, it's going to start to speed up as you can hear the fans to try and compensate for that. Now, at the same time, Mom is monitoring this system from a hardware and an OS perspective. So as we can see right now, we've got a red X over Sunsaw 1. That's this machine that's screaming over here. Now, if we look at the alert section in Mom to try and figure out what's going on, we can see there's a critical error on Sunsaw 1. It says fan critical shutdown. Fan 2, speed equals 0. That's
Well, it would do. I've ripped it out of the box. So.
Probably
okay.
Why. Well, what we can do is I'm not going to let this get to a serious situation. I'm not going to let it catch on fire or hurt anybody. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have our backup server start to boot and have this server shut down so that nobody gets hurt and that the service continues to be provided. So I'm running this automated task. And as you can see, I've sent a wsmanagement to Solaris, the in-band OS, from Mom to ask it to do a graceful shutdown. So it's gone down and killed the X server. You can see the white screen there. At the same time, I've sent a wsmanagement message to the service processor of the idle machine to turn on power and start to boot. So that machine should be booting as well.
Wow. So that means that you can, because you're using a standards way to manage other things, you can manage hardware, operating systems, and applications using a standards way with wsmanagement to be able to control all of that right from inside of Mom.
That's right.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks very much.